Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my team selection for Game Week 35 and any transfers that I'm thinking of making. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, blank Game Week 34 is, of course, still going. I'm on 71 points. I do have Kukurea coming off the bench. We kind of covered everything about my Game Week 34 free hit in the transfer video. Obviously, nothing has changed because Forest and Brentford are still yet to play tonight, but I will have, as I say, Kukurea coming off the bench. So again, somehow still on a red arrow, 61k, but I'll have those extra 6 points. But as well as that, a lot of people do have Forest defenders. People will have Mbumo, people will have like Chris Wood and stuff. So I think the 6 points will probably just kind of still keep me on a red arrow, but not make me go worse, unless obviously somebody like Mbumo or Wood goes and scores a hat-trick. But yeah, 71 points. Really annoying to get that red arrow on a free hit, but it's because of a couple of choices I made, like Livramento over Trippier really hurt. The goalkeeper choice wasn't great. Not going Diaz as well over somebody like Palmer or Iwobi also kind of hurt. And then, of course, Raul Jimenez only picking up the 1 pointer. I think he's got 1 point against Southampton in both fixtures this season, which is kind of crazy. But either way, 71 points. Alisson Becker on 2 points. Robinson obviously out the squad. Going Robinson over Sessegnon's also kind of really hurt. When they conceded, I was like, okay, sweet. I've made the right choice because obviously he wasn't even in the squad. And then Sessegnon goes and scores. Luckily, it wasn't a Iwobi assist, but still a little bit annoying. And then Aït-Nouri with 11, Livramento with 6, Salah with 16, Palmer with 3, Iwobi with 5, Murphy with 6, Cunha with 15, Isak with 6, Raul Jimenez with 1, and as I say, Kukurea on my bench yet to come in. So I finished on 77 points, which isn't too bad. Hopefully, you know, Forest win 2-1 tonight, and it's like 2 Morgan Gibbs White goals or something like that, and then Mbumo, Visser, and Chris Wood don't do anything, because then Forest still will win. Of course, as a Forest fan, that's what we want. But also it would mean that like the big kind of FPL players don't get anything. So that'd be the perfect scenario. But as long as Forest win, that's all I'm bothered about. But anyway, that's how I'm currently getting on in blank Game Week 34. Moving on to my team selection for Game Week 35. This is what it's currently looking like right now. So I've got Raya in goal, who's got Bournemouth at home. Again, expecting quite heavy rotation in that Arsenal lineup this week, especially because they are 1-0 down against PSG. So they're going to want to rest all their players for next week, really. Again, I've got players like Saka and Kivior and stuff like that. Saka is very likely going to get benched. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be getting rid of Saka this week, but we'll talk about that in the transfer portion of the video. But either way, Raya in goal against Bournemouth. Not the best fixtures coming up as well over the next 2 for Raya. Liverpool away, Newcastle at home. I kind of want to keep them both for that Southampton fixture though. And obviously Areola doesn't really have anything crazy in terms of fixtures, whilst Raya's got Liverpool and Newcastle, because he's got Man United away and then Forest at home. 2 games which I'm pretty sure they're going to concede in. So probably will still go Raya. Maybe Areola makes more save points, who knows. But playing Raya this week because obviously he's got Bournemouth at home. I mean, Spurs at home is still a good fixture for Areola, but yeah, we'll probably go Raya. Got Gvardiol at the back with Wolves at home. I've got Kivior, who's got Bournemouth at home, and then Munoz, who's got Forest at home. I'm a little bit unsure if I want to go double Arsenal defense or double City defense. I don't know which one's more likely, because Arsenal are better at keeping the ball out of the net, but at the same time there's going to be heavy rotation there, so maybe it's better to go Diaz and Gvardiol over Kivior and Raya. The only issue is obviously Cunha is in great form. Wolves are on a 6-win streak, and now again they've got one of the hardest fixtures this season coming up now, but they're on a 6-win streak. They've got a lot of form. They've got a lot of kind of I guess confidence and stuff going into that fixture, so I could easily see that ending like 1-1 or something. But again, City do need to win for the Champion League places and stuff, so who knows. But they may rest a few players as well because of the FA Cup, but I guess that's not for a bit, so I don't know. I'd probably go double City, but we'll see what happens closer to the deadline. And then yeah, Munoz, who's got Nottingham Forest at home. Not a terrible fixture for kind of a defensive player, but obviously as a Forest fan, kind of hoping we win that game. But those are the defenders and the goalkeeper. In midfield, I've got Salah, who's got Chelsea away. He is my current captaincy, but that could change if I do bring in somebody for Saka. But I don't know, like Chelsea are obviously still fighting for those Champions League spots. Liverpool have already won, so they're just going to cruise the rest of the games. But Salah's still going to want to score, get those assists and stuff, set even more records. So maybe it's still going to be one of those situations where Liverpool kind of don't take their foot off the gas. They've not really got anything else to play for this season. They're out the Champions League. They're out the FA Cup. So all they've really got to do is play in the league. Maybe he rotates a little bit. You know, maybe Salah comes off on like the 70th minute or something instead. They might all be hungover by the time they play Chelsea. Who even knows? But I think as of right now, Salah probably going to be my captain, but that could easily change. We've got SAKA as well, who's got Forest home. It's weird playing 3 players against Forest because I really need Forest to win as a Forest fan, but I've just not really got anybody else that I can kind of play it. They do have, I guess, the better fixture on paper. Yeah, SAKA, who's got Forest at home. SAKA, who's got Bournemouth home, which is obviously a great fixture on paper, but at the same time, he's going to get rested. There's no way he doesn't get rested. I'm not expecting him to start that game at all. And then I've got Rodgers, who's got Fulham at home, which isn't a terrible fixture, especially with the likes of Robinson potentially out and stuff like that. And, you know, they have let in quite a few goals recently, Fulham have, so I don't mind playing Rodgers in that fixture. And then up top, we've got Isak, who's got Brighton away, Mateta, who's got Forest at home, and then Marmoush, who's got Wolves at home. A little bit unsure when Haaland's back, obviously, so that's going to kind of change my mind maybe about what we do with Marmoush, but I would like 3 City players kind of going forward into the latter part of the season, just simply because they've got some pretty nice fixtures. They have to win pretty much every game to kind of stay in that Champions League sort of race. So yeah, a lot of stuff that City need to get right. And then on the bench, we've got Areola, who's got Spurs at home, Jacob Murphy, who's got Brighton away, Diaz, who's got Wolves at home, and then Livramento, who's got Brighton away. So could be one of those situations where I play maybe Murphy over Mateta. Mateta's minutes, again, they've not been fantastic. I mean, he only got 10 against Arsenal, but then ended up scoring, where he's played all these minutes here. So it might even be one of those situations where I bench Mateta, play Murphy. We don't even know who's on penalties for Palace either. Both Eze and Mateta have just missed one in different competitions. So maybe it's just the situation where I play Murphy over Mateta, because Mateta, like Murphy, should get a lot of minutes, but he's only been getting 64, 61, 66 over the last 2. So who do I even play out of those? Because now that Gordon's back, it's looking more likely that Murphy's losing his spot for Gordon instead of Harvey Barnes, even though Murphy's been playing very well this season. So it's either Mateta or Murphy that I play, or maybe I just play 4 at the back and just go like double City defense, double Arsenal defense, and just hope for the best, because I've got a lot of players in my team right now that are a bit of a minutes risk, such as SAKA, Murphy, and Mateta. So I'm going to have to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with those. But either way, that's how the team is shaping up for Game Week 35. And then finishing things off, we do have the transfer portion of the video to go over. So I do have a very solid 4 mil in the bank right now, which I can kind of go to any player with, apart from like Haaland and stuff. I could easily get rid of Murphy for Mbumo. I could get rid of SAKA for Mbumo. I could get rid of Mateta for somebody else. But Mbumo, I think, just makes sense to bring in this week. And I think he's even a decent captaincy shout this week as well. And I kind of am swaying towards captaining him a little bit, because Man United, they're going to be rotating because of the Europa fixture. And Mbumo's on penalties. It's a home fixture. It's just all kind of going in his direction. And I still have 1.1 mil in the bank if I want to do that. But I think Saka's more of an issue in my team, because I think he's just going to get rested. But if they get knocked out of the Champions League against PSG, then I'm probably just going to keep SAKA, because obviously Liverpool away, Newcastle at home is not ideal. But then they've got that Southampton away fixture on the last day of the season. But we won't know that. We won't know if they're through, obviously, after this deadline. So it might just be SAKA out for Mbumo. It will actually give me more money as well. I'll have 6.2 mil in the bank, which is a crazy amount of money to own at this point in the season. But it's just because I've got so many cheap midfielders. You know, I've got 3 midfielders that are under 6 mil. And then I've not really got any massive expensive player, really. My most expensive player after Salah is Isak, and he's 9.1 mil. So I've only got 1 player over double digits in terms of cost, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think if I do this, and then maybe I'll wait for like doubles and stuff, see what happens with the FA Cup final. But I do start kind of wanting to maybe be sorting my team out so I can attack the kind of remainder of the game week. Because I even like Vista as an option as well. I wouldn't mind getting rid of Mateta and bringing in Vista and Mbumo, because I think that double up would be really nice for Man United at home, especially with Ipswich away after, and Fulham, and then Wolves. So I'd love to do that, but obviously I don't have the free transfers to do it, so it's not really worth the 4 points. Maybe it would be worth the 4 points, but obviously maybe at this stage of the season I kind of need all the points I can get, and I don't really want to be taking hits at this stage either, because hits are for kind of like long term, and I guess 4 weeks is relatively long term in terms of how long you're going to have a player for, but I don't like taking hits in the last few weeks because it just doesn't really set you up very well. So it's probably going to be SAKA out for Mbumo. The only other player that I potentially think about getting rid of is obviously Murphy for him, but you know, it's not a terrible fixture, Brighton away, but I do need to be thinking about offloading my Newcastle players. The only Newcastle player that I generally need now is probably Isak. I might just keep Livramento, bench him until the last game of the season, because he's got Everton at home, which is quite a nice fixture. And obviously Munoz will have Liverpool, Fulham away for Diaz and Gvardiol, and then obviously I play Kivior as well. So maybe I keep Livramento for that, because he's only 4.5 million. It's not a player that's going to be losing any value on the bench. So we'll have to have a think about that closer to the time. But anyway, that's what my team selection is currently looking like for Game Week 35. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 100 likes. Leave a comment. What are your FPL Game Week 35 transfer plans? Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.